You've described this, what we're seeing from President Trump, as chaos, and this chaos is a gift to China. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, yes. Look, China will take advantage of the chaos. I mean, I don't think chaos is how else can you describe an administration that puts, a tariff on Monday, doubles it on Tuesday, cuts it on Wednesday? I mean, it's all over the shop, right? So what President Xi is doing is he is being consistent where Trump is being erratic. Unlike in the first Trump administration, where China took an aggressive approach, and you remember wolf warrior diplomacy and so forth, and economic coercion, including against Australia. I think this time around, China will seek to be the opposite of Trump, to be consistent where he's erratic, to be more measured where he's aggressive, and that will find a very welcome audience in many countries. He is really giving China a big opportunity. I mean, look already at the meeting between the foreign ministers of China, South Korea and Japan. I mean, those three countries, as you know, have got historic enmities. There are real challenges for those three countries to work together, but they are now meeting and proposing to work together on greater trade cooperation as a response to America's, trade war. I mean, or what really should be called a war on trade, actually, because it seems to be quite indiscriminate.
When China and the United States met in Geneva, it was a surprise to the markets, it was a surprise to the world that the two countries could come to a temporary trade truce so quickly. And now they're talking about violations this week, that accusation coming through from the U.S. China, of course, hitting back. What are you expecting to come next in this, as we watch, of course, each step that China and the United States takes?
Well, look, I think it is perhaps dawning on President Trump that he cannot bully China. And the sort of unilateral imposition of tariffs and sanctions against China is being met with countermeasures, including, as you said in the intro, the ban on or restrictions on the export of rare earth elements, and in particular heavy rare earth elements, which are a very small but vital part of the, rare earth totality. So China has a lot of leverage. Both countries, and it will respond. So Mr. Trump's approach is he believes that might is right. He believes might makes right, and that is very unedifying and very unattractive, obviously, to middle powers like Australia. Very unattractive. But if you want to take a might is right approach, you better be careful who you're dealing with. And if you're dealing with China, which has an economy which is more or less the same size as the United States, some say a little smaller, others say a little bigger, but it's comparable, then you really should be approaching it in a much more respectful manner. And I think he has picked on someone his own size, which is, I guess, one good thing. But the consequence of that is that he will not, I'm sure, get his own way. He'll have to compromise.
I want to get your take. On Australia. When you look to the United States, it's about security. When you look to China, it's more about prosperity and the links with the economy. How does Australia balance this? Is it going to be a little bit more self-reliance?
Well, Australia will have to be more self-reliant, yes. I mean, the reality is that the United States under Donald Trump does not share the same values that we have shared with every single one of his presidential predecessors for 80 years. Instead, his attitude to the world is might is right, and he makes no bones about that. I mean, you can't say he's being sneaky about it. It's on the tin, America first. And, he does not believe in free trade. He believes in protectionism. He says tariffs are good. Trade wars are good and easy to win. Now, this is it from his own words and his own actions. So countries like Australia, like Japan, have got to work together to collaborate and maintain the free trade values that we have had in the past. I mean, I think we've got a great example of Australian-Japanese collaboration, which is with the Trans-Pacific Partnership. I mean, you'll remember in 2017 when Trump came into office the first time, he pulled America out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Now, I was able to persuade my good friend, sadly no longer with us, Shinzo Abe, that we should keep the deal going without the Americans. And so we did. And that's now called the CPTPP, but it had the original 11 members that were in the TPP, minus the United States. Now the United Kingdom has joined. Other countries will join, no doubt. And what this tells you is that the middle powers, that's to say the powers that are not China or the United States, are able to effect real multilateral arrangements supporting free trade and the values we hold dear without necessarily having one of the superpowers in it. And certainly, in this case, without American leadership. I mean, it had been an American initiative in many respects. It was Obama's big initiative, you remember, as part of the pivot to Asia. But Trump cancelled that. But the good thing is the free trade partnership is still there. And we've got to keep that going. You'll recall President Macron of France was in Singapore on Friday at the Shangri-La conference, and he talked about how it was important to build alliances of countries that would neither be enrolled, by which he meant enrolled in a campaign against China, or bullied, and really bullied by anyone. And he talked about the European Union seeking to work closely with and perhaps associate with the Trans-Pacific Partnership. So this is what we have to do. I mean, we can't just say, oh well, the Americans have changed their mind on free trade and the rights of smaller states. We have to stand up for our values and work together. And hopefully they'll change their mind at some point, but you can't count on that.